AJ Dybantsa wrote an article for the Players Tribune that was really cool. Kind of a whole backstory to like how he was raised and some advice his dad gave him that he's carried through. It was really cool. We've seen AJ do like a lot of charitable stuff, like giving basketball gear and school supplies to students, young kids, and it's all framed from like lessons his dad instilled in him. Like when you have, it's your obligation to give and kind of really makes me respect the Dybantsa family and AJ in general. But I want to isolate an excerpt from this article that I found really interesting. He explained why he came to BYU, and he said, I mean, it's a vibe. I truly think we can win it all. I wouldn't have come here if I didn't. I came into this season thinking we're going to put in max pain. If we don't win a national championship, it's a disappointment. That's how I feel. Just think about last season. Florida won. Nobody will remember that Houston made it to second place. So it's championship or bust. Quite the statement from projected number one pick, superstar freshman AJ Dybantsa. Do you like this energy?
Coming to BYU to bring the pain, pain to the max. I got to give back, no backpack giveaway. Sway AJ. Sorry, I felt like you were rapping when you were reading that to me a little bit. I don't know why. But I shoot a jumper getting kind of wet at BYU. I might just cut down a net.
Okay.
Sorry, long morning. Um, I don't know. The only thing that is a little bit interesting for this one is we just got done doing the video yesterday where it was that team, big physical, I freshman. Yeah. Now it's like, yeah, I'm here. Title talk. It's a little bit differing energy. It's not to me. It's not keeping the energy the same
Yeah,
in
well,
my
a
mind.
different task of like writing a Players Tribune article versus like post-game interview. Hey, AJ, are you ready for Dan Hurley? Like two very different things. Listen, I was a guy that was on the last video being like, I want AJ to act like he is who he is. So in this sense, like I can't knock him for being confident. I actually really like players that carry themselves this way. I always say this, like if you have talent, you should set the bar high. There's people that are like, oh, they got to make an Elite Eight or it's a failure. Why stop at Elite Eight? We've said that for BYU. This team can make a Final Four. This team can win it all. I like that they're not afraid of saying that. Now, a couple data points for me. Number one, they got to play better because through 4 games, they don't look the national title caliber worthy team that I thought they would look like. They've got issues that they need to solve. And one of those is their starting shooting guard that just picked up a DUI. So there's
Mhm.
quite a few things to answer here in order for BYU to deliver on what AJ is saying they need to deliver on. Otherwise, it's a failure. I would, after reading this piece, I feel like I understand AJ a lot more, though. And I want to just say this. I don't think I've ever appreciated his story enough, like his upbringing, where he's come from. He wrote in this about how his dad really came from nothing and that like his dad's changed his entire worldview and he's had to come to terms with like, listen, I am an 18-year-old kid that has a bunch of money. Like
Mhm.
AJ went through a growth spurt during COVID and none of this was necessarily expected and he doesn't want to hide from this or run from it. Like he is wealthy and well off in a way that he's very fortunate for. And that's why he wants to give back so much. All I would say is this. I have so much respect for AJ the person after reading this piece. I hope he's not going to view himself as a failure if they come short of this. And I'm totally okay with him setting the bar that high and saying it out loud. But I hope deep down he realizes he's already had an impact that people will remember. Like him saying no one's going to remember Houston. Tell that to little kids that grew up in Houston and loved last year's team.
Mhm.
Tell that to the Purdue fans that lost to UConn in the championship that got to ride with Zach Edey for 37 games.
Mhm.
Like, he is changing lives just by being at BYU.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a qualifier on needing to win a national championship to be remembered or have an impact. And I think ultimately he's not saying that, but I hope he feels that deep down because he's a special kid that deserves that, and it's true.
Yeah, and it's a bigger than basketball type viewpoint. I think that you put across here. It's like you know even teams that come up short, you still remember. Like I still talk about that Cassius Winston team, and I was a grown man when I saw it. Like it's that type of stuff sticks with you, and that type of impact sticks with you forever. Um, so yeah, it is obviously you want to have lofty goals, but it is to a certain point where like he's in a position where he can inspire a bunch of people given what his story is. And his story is awesome to your point. And I feel like because of, the number one recruit, the NIL, everything about him, the star that he is, it gets lost in the shuffle how awesome of a story like he himself and his family have and the impact they have. It is really cool.
It is. Yeah. Honestly, I think he needs a new PR team.
We would be a great PR team.
I think AJ's better than his own PR people for his PR.
Who is it? Who are his PR people?
I don't know, but like this article was like the most relatable he's ever felt and human. And like it feels like the story of him is often swept aside for his endorsements.
Hmm.
You can kind of get the wrong picture of who he is from just a broad level. So I don't know. We got to work on this because he's a special kid, man.
Yeah, we'll be elite for your PR. Great rates too.
I think Dion's his current PR person,
Good
honestly.
Lord. That's why it's like this.